So welcome to our little exercise for breath and relaxation. Bit Pilates inspired, but a lot of it's just breath and movement. Should be good for everybody, but if at any time you're feeling like it's not feeling good, just do stop. Come and lie on your side to start off, and let's lie on your left side. And what you want to do is just make the head comfortable. You want some cushions underneath your head, so fill up the space between your ear and the mat. Start with your two hands out in front of each other with the fingertips on top, and that aligns the shoulders nicely, and then heels just roughly lining up with the back of the body. We're going to do a little bit of breath work first, and the first one is lateral breathing. Place your top hand on the side of your ribs. That's it. And then as you breathe in, just lift up to the ceiling a little bit. And as you breathe out, soften down. Good. Now, sometimes as we do this lateral breathing in, lifting the hand, pressing the ribs into the hand, the low back can feel a little bit uncomfortable. And so sometimes you just need to put a couple of cushions underneath your waist. Just having the waist supported can help if there's any discomfort in the low back. A couple more breath cycles. Most things we're doing today are roughly in the 6 to 8 range of repetitions. Maybe breathing in through the nose and just sighing the air out through the mouth. That gives it a nice speed. We're changing to our belly breath now. So place the hand down onto your low abdominals. So you want the little finger near your pubic bone and your thumb is somewhere near your belly button. As you breathe in, feel the belly press into the hand. And as you breathe out, draw your belly away from the hand. Doesn't have to be a huge movement. Breathing in, belly fills up, and as you breathe out, draw away from your hand and start to feel how your waist narrows. Breathing in and breathing out. Funny description, but one that works. As you breathe in, imagine your intestines are falling onto the floor. As you breathe out, pick those intestines up inside you and pull them against the inside of your spine. As you breathe in, intestines to the floor, you might feel that your top hip rolls towards the mat. And as you breathe out and draw your intestines deep inside you, you might feel your top hip roll backwards slightly. So we're already beginning to get a little sense of breathing and centering and getting movement just to happen because we breathe. Looks good. Now place the two hands on top of each other, stay with the same breath pattern, and as you breathe in, intestines towards the floor, top arm glides forwards, hips roll forward, and as you breathe out, pull the intestines in, roll the hip back to roll the shoulder and arm back. In breath, we glide forward, and as you breathe out, working from the center, roll the hip to roll the ribs to slide the arm. Nice, a couple more times. Gentle breath forwards, just the organization of your out breath to roll you backwards. Finding that idea of centering on the out breath. Last time, in breath, arm forwards, and out breath, drawing back. Nice, let's change and come on to the other side. So we've got our 3 exercises on the other side. We've got our lateral breath pattern. Some people call it a 1 lung breathing. We've got our belly breathing, and we've got our arm glides. So again, ankles roughly lining up with the back of the body. Fingertips on top of each other to give you shoulders a bit of organization. Top hand comes up to the side of your ribs. As you breathe in, feel like you go push your ribs into your hand, and out breath sinking down. Sometimes it feels like your waist wants to lift. If it does, that's okay. Breathing in, pushing your hand to the ceiling. Breathing out, relaxing down. And again, if it doesn't feel like you want to lift your waist, that's okay. And we're just getting a little bit of movement into the rib cage. We're also encouraging a little bit more wider breath, a little bit more posterior lateral breath as well. Good. Take your hand now onto your tummy. So the little finger's close to your pubic bone, thumb is quite close to your belly button. When we breathe in, the belly fills up. As you breathe out, draw the belly away from the hand, start to shrink the waist. Breathing in, big belly, breathing out, small belly. Sometimes you get this wrong. If you get it wrong, doesn't matter. You'll get it after a couple of repetitions. Think again about the intestines, and as you breathe in, the intestines fall on the floor. And as you breathe out, pick them up off the mat, pull them deep inside you against the front of your spine. And again, in breath, releasing the weight of the intestines. Maybe your top hip rolls. And as you breathe out and pull the intestines in deeper, your top hip rolls backwards. And just let that little hip roll happen because of the breathing and the way you're organising your intestines. Strange way to talk about it, but you feel that. Taking the two hands on top of each other, keep the breath going, keep the hip roll going. And as you breathe in, top hip glides forward, allow the arm to go forward. And as you breathe out, draw the waist in, draw the intestines in to roll the hips, to roll the ribs, to roll the arms. Good, in breath. And from the center of your body, out breath, drawing back. Nice, a couple more. Good. We'll go change into our next exercise. We're going to go for a thoracic rotation. So if you just change your legs so the knees are higher up, the ankles are on the front edge of your mat, and you can reach the knees with your bottom hand. The top hand is going to come to the back of your skull. So the hand nearest the ceiling comes to the back of the skull. The other hand reaches across to the knees to keep the knees quiet. Take a soft breath in to prepare with me. And as you breathe out, roll forward, elbow rolling down, head rolling down to the mat. On the in-breath, open up, rotate the other direction, turn your elbow to the ceiling, look down the back of the elbow, breathing in, and out-breath, rotating forwards and down. Good. Hand is on your knees to keep your knees quiet, breathing in, and feel that breath move you. And breathing out. Breathing in. And breathing out. Good. Last one of these thoracic rotations. And lovely. Let's come on to the other side. That's it. Again, knees are quite high. That's it. Top hand to the back of the skull. Take a breath in with me. And as you breathe out, rotate down. And in-breath, opening up, looking down the back of your elbow, out-breath, turning forwards. Think about how you're deflating the lungs. Breathing in, inflating the lungs that open you up. And as you breathe out, deflating, allowing the ribs, the body to turn. In-breath, open. Out-breath. Good. Good. Now we're coming to our next exercise. Come and lie on your back. With this next exercise, you're going to need some thinner cushions underneath your head. So slightly thinner cushions. Because what you're looking for is that when you're lying on your back and you're comfortable, your forehead and chin should be roughly in line with each other. So you don't want your chin lower or you don't want your forehead lower. Start with your feet nice and wide. So we're going to take the feet out wide and then the arms out to the side to a T shape, a rough T shape. That's it. So we go do a little hip roll. So we go take a breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, you go roll your legs over to the left. Hold on the in-breath. And as you breathe out, roll the hips the opposite direction. You can turn your head the opposite way. Hold and prepare on the in-breath. And out-breath, turn the pelvis and turn the back of the head at the same time. Breathing and holding. Out-breath to move. So with this wide feet hip roll, we get internal external rotation in the hip sockets. Keep your armpits as quiet as possible on the mat. Don't let the legs and the hips pull the back of the armpits off the mat too much. Here we've got our lower rotation for the spine, pelvis, low back. Good. Come back to center. We're going to do a little bit of work for the lower abdominals and our breath work now. So bring your feet and knees together by about a hand's width apart. You want to put something between your knees. So if you've got the overball, you can put the overball between your knees, or you might like to put a cushion. And you want to put a cushion so it's about a hand's width apart. So we're just going to add something to squeeze. It's not super strong, but a little squeeze. Now make a triangle with your hands, so the hands are on your lower abdominals, fingertips again just above your pubic bone. We're just going to do what we call a little bit of transverse abdominal drumming. So just drum your hands, just pat, and just wake up that muscle group. Now leave the arms, hands still, just again softly breathing through your nose, and again feel that the breath presses the hands to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, draw away from your hands, breathing in. And again, as you breathe out, you might again feel how you're drawing your intestines against the inside of your spine. It's not a super strong feeling. It's more about just feeling it rather than gripping into it. When you do this next time, on the last part of your out breath, squeeze the ball or the cushion to try and get your inner thighs helping you feel that a little bit more. So just tying in breath, softening of the abdominals, squeezing the ball and the cushion, and then in breath, releasing. And just get that feeling how lower abdominals, breath, inner thighs work as a team to give you more awareness. Keep that awareness going gently as we come into our next sequence for our shoulders and our arms, again with our breath. Bring your hands down to your sides. Just roll your shoulders so your thumbs are pointing to the ceiling and reach your fingertips towards your toes. Take a breath in with me. And as you breathe out, just relax the chest and shoulders. And now on the next in-breath, float the arms to the ceiling, leading with the thumbs. Turn the arms, palms facing forwards, and out breath, lower the arms down. In breath, turn the thumbs to the ceiling, float up so the arms are just over your shoulders, and out breath, just lower the arms down. And just let your breath engineer the movement. In breath to float, and out breath softening, lowering down. Again, just a simple breath coordination. Bring the arms to the ceiling. We're going to change. We're going to do splits. Just have your thumbs pointing towards each other. Take a nice breath in. And out breath, just relax the chest. On your next in breath, take one arm forward, one arm back. Doesn't matter which. So breathing in, we split the arms. And then from the center, as you breathe out, squeeze the cushion, pull the tummy in, bring your arms back to center. Breathing in, stretch the arms the other direction. And as you breathe out from the center of the body, squeeze the ball, use the out breath to organize the arms back. In breath, split again. Just continue with these arm splits, thinking about how they time with your breath, thinking about how the out breath can just get you a little bit more centered into your lower abdominals to help you organize those arms. Good. Arms back to the ceiling. Bring the hands back down to your sides. Again, spiral the arms away from the shoulders so the thumbs point to the ceiling. In breath, float up. As you breathe out, bring your fingertips to touch. So you're making a great big round circle with your arms, like you're hugging a huge tree trunk. As you breathe in, draw the elbows to the mat. And as you breathe out, soften the chest, squeeze the ball, tummy pulls in, fingertips come back together. In breath, elbows draw out to the floor. As you breathe out, soften the chest, tummy draws in, squeeze the ball, fingertips back together. Keep the elbows bent. As you take the elbows out to the side, as it on the in-breath, and feel that you're stretching open the front of the shoulders, the collarbones, and out-breath coming back together. As you breathe in and take the elbows wide, maybe feel your shoulder blades move towards each other. And as you breathe out and hug your tree, maybe think your shoulder blades widen and hug around the side of the ribs. So one more time, feeling maybe the shoulder blades involved, and out-breath, fingertips together. Now bring the back of your hands to touch, so your fingernails and knuckles touch, and bring the fingertips down onto your breastbone. Back of wrists might touch. Just take a breath in. Feel the chest rise, and as you breathe out, let the chest sink a little bit. Find your breath in. And as you breathe out, press the sternum away from your throat. Feel that length in the front of the body. Maybe recognize the back of the ribs have an organization. So just allowing the breath, the sternum drop breath, to give you some organization in your rib cage. Feel the length it might give you in the back of your body, between your ribs and the hips. Good. So we're going to make an adjustment to the mat now. So if you'd like to come up off your mat and fold the mat over in half, you can bring your low end of the mat towards your head. This is going to allow us to slide the feet along the floor. So with the socks on, that's going to slide nicely on the hard surface. If you're on a carpet, you'll probably find that your feet will slide nicely as well. So we're going to go over some leg slides. Just place the hands on the hips, feet and knees about hands width apart. Just take a soft breath in with me. And as you breathe out, slide your right foot along the floor and just feel the length. Hold it there as you breathe in, and out breath, slide it back. Swap into the left leg now. 1, we breathe in to prepare. 2, out breath, slide the leg along the floor. 3, hold it there. 4, draw it back along the floor. Take a breath in. 2, out breath, slide the leg along. Now imagine a spring from your heel and your lung. As you breathe in, maybe stretch that spring a little bit more. And as you breathe out, feel the spring pull the leg back in. Ready on your out breath, the left leg slides out. Feel the spring stretch from the heel and the lungs. Hold on the in breath. And out breath, draw that spring back in. Good breath in. Out breath, slide the right leg. Slightly different now. Hold it there on the in breath. Now imagine you're on a sandy beach. And as you breathe out, pull your heel through the sand. So the heel's quite heavy on the floor. Breath in. Out breath, a light foot slides along the floor. Hold on the in breath. Now as you breathe out, feel the heel heavier as you draw it along the floor to maybe find the lower abdominals respond. Breath in. Out breath, right leg slides along the floor. Find a little bit more length on the in breath. And out breath, draw it back in. Left leg. Out breath, light slide away. In breath, hold. Heavy heel. Out breath, pull it back in. Now take the hands to the ceiling. We're going to put the arm splits and the leg slides together. Palms facing forwards. Just tap the toes on your right foot. Wiggle the fingers on your right hand. They move away from each other. So breath in to prepare. Out breath, right leg, right arm reach away from each other. Left arm goes forwards. Hold on the in breath. And out breath, pull back from center. Again, use the abdominals to pull everything back. In breath to prepare. Left leg, left arm reaches away from each other. Right, that's it. Hold in the in breath. And out breath, pull back to center. Good. Carry on. Think about the arm and leg reaching away from each other. Sometimes it goes a little bit wrong. If it does, that's okay. Come back to center. That's it. And carry on. Just working with this opposition patterning. That's it. Just again thinking how the breath helps you organize. Good. Make that your last one. Come onto your hands and knees now. We're going to finish off with some stretches on the mat. So if you'd like to bring yourself up, fold your mat over again. Again, if you feel your knees are uncomfortable, you can always fold the mat over underneath your knees. We're setting up in our box position. Take your hands towards the front edge of the mat. That's it. And just step your knees back by about a hand space for this one. Toes flat on the floor, so toenails on the floor. We're going to do just a rocking box. Take a soft breath to prepare. As you breathe out, draw your waist in to pull your hips back to sit towards your feet. Let your hands press your hips towards your feet a little bit. In breath, draw forward. Feel your lungs and heart pull you forward. Arms are straight in this one. And then rocking box, out breath, just sit backwards. That's it, so we're still in our rocking box, the arms are staying straight. And in breath, just draw forward, the arms straight. That's it. And out breath, use the arms to push your hips towards your feet, feel that stretch. And then in breath, bring yourself forwards. Just go change the legs slightly, bring your big toes to touch. but then take your knees really wide. Take the knees as wide as the mat. So it's a rocking frog. Take a breath in, out breath, sit your hips backwards. In breath, pull forwards again. In this modified position, you might find your range of movement slightly different. Out breath, drawing from the waist to sit you down. In breath to pull forwards. In this stretch, you can always just hold it there if you like and breathe. Sitting back on the out breath. Pulling forward on the in breath. Now we'll just go to a little stretch for the side of the back. So take both hands over to the right. So both hands go right over to the right hand side of the mat. Now if you can imagine seeing yourself from above, you want to make your back into a curve. Take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, sit your hips towards your feet. And if you've got that nice curve, you feel a bit of a stretch on the left hand side of your body. Hold it there, and then come back on the in breath. So with this QL stretch, you could either choose to out breath, sit back. So you could choose to hold it there, or again, you can choose to rock in and out of it. Difficult one to set up, this one, because not everybody gets it right or feels it. But if it's your stretch, that's okay. Good. Just take your hands to the other side. So again, if you imagine you're looking from above, you've got a curve in your back. An out breath sitting backwards, and in breath coming forwards. Sometimes out breath sitting back, it feels like you're going around a curve in a fast car. That funny feeling of sending your ribs over to the right slightly. Good, you can hold that and breathe if you like, or you can keep rocking in and out of it. Last little stretch. Hands underneath your shoulders again. We're going to just do a moving cat. Bring your knees a little bit more underneath your hips and your knees directly out. That looks good. So moving cat, we take a breath to prepare. As you breathe out round your back, look at your knees. Sit your hips backwards. Sit down. Bend the elbows, take them a little bit wider, and draw your nose along the floor to your thumbs, and breathing in you lift, maybe into a bit of extension. And as you breathe out round the back, sitting backwards. If extension is not good for your body, you don't have to come into the extension, or you can just miss this last little detail out. So this is our moving cat, just allowing us to get some nice fluid movement in the spine. Good, and we finished there. Thanks very much, and thank you.